Alright guys, welcome. Apologize for not showing my face in this video. I have the flu currently and look awful. So my voice will just have to do this time. But I'm filming this video to kind of give you a general idea as far as what I'm expecting for these short papers in literature class. I'm filming the video for a 102 online course. But I might use this video in the future for any future courses too. So I'm not going to really go into specifics relating to any one particular question or work. I'm just going to kind of explain what I'm looking for here. So this is a pretty standard assignment that I give in this course, in any of my literature courses. About 3 pages or so, 3 to 4 pages, 1,000 words. I want you to do it in MLA format. It's a double-spaced 1-inch margins, Times New Roman 12 is your font. I know all the fancy tricks about making your periods 16 font and all that fun stuff, so don't do that. The cite by line number, not page number, that only applies to poetry. Ignore that. You don't need a title page. Your last name plus page number goes in the top right margins. It doesn't matter what course I teach, I always give you an MLA formatted template. So I have my template here for you. All you got to do is kind of plug and play, right? See me typing my name, type your last name up in the header, type your name here, and then it gives you all these different rules and stuff too. So this template I've provided you is pretty handy. You want to make sure that you use that. It's much easier just to give you a template than it is to walk you through each boring, mundane step of that. So each time I do one of these, I will give you 4 or 5 possibilities for a topic. One moment. As you see, for this particular class, we're studying Gothic literature. So I give all kinds of different questions. And usually I try to give questions from a bunch of different perspectives. That way, if you're interested in more than one thing, or if you're somebody, maybe Billy's interested in psychology, right? Maybe Sally's interested in the history behind the text. I try to give different questions that appeal to different people. That's usually different ways of reading the text. So I'm not going to talk through much of these questions in general. I'm basically just telling you guys I give you a bunch of different questions. If something isn't ever on one of these prompts that you're interested in, let me know and I'll be happy to work with you. But in general, in this 3 to 4 page response, I want mostly analysis. I don't want any plot summary or minimal. I'll say, instead of saying I don't want any, I'll say minimal plot summary. So you always kind of want to be, you always want to assume that your audience is familiar with your text. Right? Don't feel a need to explain what happens in the text. So whenever you answer one of these argumentative opinion-based questions, then, so for instance, you might do this one about literary form. Well, whatever opinion you pick, this question right here about literary form. Whatever opinion you pick, you have to then back it up with evidence. Okay. I've created fix my typo. I've created a just a little visual here as far as how do you organize a paper, just a short analysis paper, in a way that you're going to stay organized and you're going to avoid summary. The first thing you need always is a good thesis statement. Note here, I have some notes in the margins for you. So in a thesis statement, this is kind of a basic elementary model of writing a thesis. When I say, while some argue blank, I can contend blank because blank, blank, and blank. So this first part is what you call a tension phrase. So that's when you put your belief in opposition with the other person, right? The other side of the argument. The next part's called belief statement, right? The belief statement. This is where you're stating your main idea. This is the main point you're trying to prove. And then you have your becauses, everything after your because. So these are your premises. These are your building blocks for your argument. So this is what the premises is where the argument's made or broken. Whatever opinion it is, you need evidence to back it up. So whenever we're talking about literature class, the evidence is passages from the text. Right? So there's little passages in the text that you read. That is your evidence when it comes to literature. So when you get to the paragraph level, then it's kind of a corny metaphor here. We call them burger paragraphs. So burger paragraphs. So to stay on track, to avoid summarizing what you've just written, if you follow this model, you'll be in good shape. So in general, you want to call it the top bun of the burger, right? A topic sentence is where you restate the point from your thesis. So you can almost kind of verbatim copy the point here and then put it in your body paragraph, right? And then, so that keeps your paper focused and organized, that topic sentence. The meat is your evidence. As I say here in literature, this is when you bring in a passage from the text to support your assertion. So that's where you bring in your passage. And your bottom bun's the interpretation, and that's where you drive home the point it is you're trying to make. Right? So don't let the passage speak for itself. Tell us how we should interpret the passage. If you do this over and over and over throughout the paper, you're going to stay organized. You're going to have evidence to support your points. You're going to stay well organized. You're going to avoid plot summary. Right? The only plot summary you should have is maybe give us some grounding for when this passage happens in the text or something like that. That's all you need. But like I said, always assume your reader knows what it is that you're covering. So, with that said, that should be it. That's the basics for doing a short paper. Let me know if you have any questions.